CTV News, we bring you more on yesterday's car fire.
Then we look at the virtual reality event held on campus.
And we explore Fort Collins' new city plans for the city. All this and more on CTV News starting now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Lauren Wilson.
And I'm Edgar Cedillo. Here's what's happening in the news near you. A Jeep parked in the administration building yesterday burst into flames on Monday afternoon. Campus police responded to reports of a small fire in the passenger seat of the Jeep at 12:22 in the afternoon, but the fire later consumed the rest of the vehicle. Poudre Fire Authority dispatched an engine to the fire and was eventually extinguished at 12:33. The Jeep was irreparably damaged and vehicles on either side were harmed as well. No one was injured as a result of the fire. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation.
Starting on October 29th, CSU faculty and staff have the opportunity to make changes to their university health benefits, to add or drop dependents, and to sign up for new programs. This period is the only time changes can be made, with the exception of changes in marital status, adoption, or the birth of a new child. This opportunity lasts until November 16th, and all changes go into effect on January 1st.
The City of Fort Collins partnered with CSU's Center for Public Deliberation to reach out to students in hopes of helping the city create a master plan for the next 20 years. The City of Fort Collins is looking for community input from a variety of people living within the city, ranging from students to long-term residents on its city plan.
We're one of several different community partners who are partnering with the city to engage different groups in city plan.
City planners are looking at a variety of options for how the city will look in the next 20 years.
Groups that may not be showing up to city council meetings or things like that.
During the planning stages, city planners found that residents care about Fort Collins being a livable, sustainable community with the small town feel.
So in this particular case, we're working on engaging students in city plan.
The city acknowledges that with a growing city, it will not only have impacts here in Fort Collins, but on surrounding cities as well.
And asks questions around transportation and housing and what students would like to see in those areas for the future of Fort Collins.
The city is looking at different areas within Fort Collins to see how it'll be built out within 20 years.
Looking at how different choices that we make will actually impact housing or transportation in the city.
The city hopes to have the city plan finished by the winter of this year before it goes to city council for a vote.
Even though students may only be here for a couple of years, I think it's still really important for them to be able to impact the city that they live in, because there's a lot of these things that affect students.
If you would like to weigh on the plan, the city is taking input until November 2nd. For more information, you can visit their website at ourcity.fcgov.com/cityplan.
During this past weekend's RAM Reality event, teams of tech producers and artists collaborated in a competition to create virtual reality concepts. 3 winners were selected. First place, which included a $3,000 prize, went to Vroom Vroom for their program to test the status of concussion victims. Second place, a $1,500 payday, was awarded to the Climate Changers for their immersive VR technology that places users in environments expected to be affected by climate change. Third place, which received $1,000, went to Protovisus for their software simulating the structure of microscopic proteins. Create-a-thon participants had just 3 days to design and produce live demos of these virtual reality concepts. For those who say you can't put a deadline on creativity, I beg to differ.
Transferring colleges can be a difficult experience for a student, but CSU has a variety of programs designed to help students make the meaningful transition to the university. One of the most successful programs is a partnership with Front Range Community College called Bridge to Baccalaureate that helps transfer students studying science succeed at CSU. But whether students are coming from a junior college, the military, or another 4-year institution, there are resources to assist them.
The field of virtual and augmented reality is rapidly advancing. To address significant trends in these evolving technologies, CSU hosted an entire weekend of events dedicated to the digital developments. The 2018 HP Virtual and Augmented Reality Symposium was held in the Laurie Student Center last Friday. The event kicked off the RAM Reality Weekend at CSU, a university initiative showcasing events and classes focused on mixed reality technologies. The symposium featured 5 speakers who each discussed a topic related to their respective field of research or expertise. Speakers included Caden Strand, CEO of Blue Penguin, a virtual reality and augmented reality software development service, as well as Michael Humphrey, Assistant Professor of Journalism and Media Communication at CSU. Symposium topics included using VR to solve practical problems, improvement of mental health treatment, and the future of digital storytelling.
It's changing the way that people do research, it's changing the way that people study and understand things. You can study anatomy without having to open up a body. As cliche as this is, virtual reality is the future. So I think the more that we know about it and the more that we as students are able to have a better understanding of how it works, we kind of get an upper hand once we graduate.
I think that really in any industry kind of that you're looking at, you can find use cases for virtual reality, and it's just kind of, it's a great technology to jump on. I actually also run some demos for our customers when they come to visit at work at HP. It can be kind of disorienting just because sometimes it feels a little too real in the sense, like you think back to like your first roller coaster ride or something like that. Like there's just so much that is just inexplicable, and so we get that kind of a lot where a lot of people are just saying like, wow, I can't believe it feels this real.
The RAM Create-a-thon, a competition to design a VR concept, was held the weekend following the symposium. During this 3-day competition, teams of software developers, programmers, artists, and innovators engaged in collaborative development of mixed reality experiences. The event culminated with live demos of all the proposed programs and 3 winners being selected. The winning creations of the RAM Create-a-thon are now on display at the RAM Reality Showcase in the Morgan Library. Although it is not certain what exactly the future of virtual and augmented reality will hold, there is no doubt that these technologies will change the way we view the world around us.
The CSU Health Network held their 2nd annual Student Health Fair last Thursday, which featured more than 30 different booths throughout the facility. The booths were featured through different services that the Health Center provides, from optometry to dentistry. Many of the booths were interactive and featured games and prizes. Over 400 students attended the fair, and over 200 free flu shots were administered to those in attendance. The fair came as a part of the continued effort to familiarize students with the resources available to them at the Health Center.
Are you looking for the chance to explore the solar system? The Madison McDonald Observatory gives students the opportunity to do just that. The observatory gives students studying astronomy access to hands-on experience, and it is also available for special viewing groups and public viewing nights. The building is located at the intersection of Pitkin Street and East Drive, and it has been an astronomical resource since 1965.
The CSU football team's annual border war game against the University of Wyoming is coming to campus on Friday. But do you know how that's going to affect your parking? Roads and parking lots around campus will close in the afternoon on October 26th, and there will be no way for vehicles to leave campus after 5 in the evening due to changes in traffic patterns. That being said, students are expected to attend their classes and go about their daily routines as they would on a normal day. Students living in Braden and Newsom Halls are expected to have their vehicles moved by 8 in the morning on Friday, and repark begins on Thursday afternoon. Parking lots will open at 5 in the evening on Friday, and kickoff will be at 8.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of hassle of parking just to make way for football, but I mean, people love their sports, right?
Especially on a Friday. That's going to be interesting to see how campus works. So.
Oh yes.
Well, that's all we have for news.
Stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment, all coming up on CTV.